Hello, my name is Andrew Shedd, and I'm one of the founders of Calevo. In this video, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the different types of roles and the way in which you can set up how a certain role schedules through the Calevo app. I'm going to begin by going to the Team tab at the top of Calevo and demonstrating three different ways in which a role can be set up to schedule. I'm going to start by showing you Dr. Ashworth. And when I click on Dr. Ashworth, you'll see that at the Fort Worth ER, he is a clinical full-time physician. I'm going to go to his role template, and you'll see that he does not take call, he does not self-schedule, and he is not limited to request on availability. This is the default way in which the rules will appear when you set up a new role type. Now, what does it mean when somebody is not request on and is not self-schedule? That means that when they put in their schedule requests in the Calevo app, they will have access to request either days or shifts on or days or shifts off. So, for example, if you limit them to 10 requests, then the maximal way that they would use that to put in their schedule requests would be to request 10 entire days off. But they could also use some of those requests to request certain days or shifts on if they have a particular preference. It will give them access to both options, and then you can control how many total requests they have. Any requests that are entered for a single day will count as one request. You can also control their hours as we discussed previously, and other parameters such as time off in between shifts or the shift types that they will work. The most important thing to think through is how this impacts the way in which a role will put in requests into the app and the way the automator will process those requests. This contrasts with a request on provider role type. Let's look at Dr. Beaumont. Dr. Beaumont also works at the Fort Worth ER. His current role is clinical PRN. And when we go to this role, you'll see that we selected him as request on for availability. What this means is that providers in this role define their availability using on requests in the Calevo app only, and they cannot request off. This is helpful because this role will be limited to providing the days or shifts that they can work, and the automator will not schedule them for days or shifts outside of that availability. So even if an individual was scheduled for up to 40 hours per month, if they have not put in any availability, then it will not schedule them for any shifts. So it allows this type of role to have maximal control over the days or shifts that they're available, and only be scheduled if they have given availability. Let's now contrast this with somebody who is selected for self-scheduling. So we'll look at Dr. Tyler Beckett. Dr. Beckett also works at the Fort Worth ER and is currently a nocturnist. When we go to their role, you'll see that we have selected them for self-schedule. That means that in this example, Dr. Beckett has to work exactly 120 hours per month, and if we do only 10-hour shifts, then that individual would need to have 12 requests so that they could request the 12 shifts that they want to work. If you only have one night shift per month, then this works out really well because they can simply self-schedule for the days and shifts that they want to work. If you have more than one night shift, then they would need to be request on so that they could give the calendar days wherein they're available, or they could mark themselves as available for all of the night shifts on any given day. And this can be used for other individuals as well who might self-schedule, such as a senior leader or a chair or another individual who really only needs to give precise control over the shifts they can work. Be aware the automator will give them any shift that they say they can work, and so it needs to be communicated very clearly to these team members that they really only need to request the shifts that they want to work and nothing more. Lastly, I want to show you how to use the start and stop dates for a role in a user's profile. So you'll see here that Dr. Beckett is a nocturnist, and this role began on April 18th and is presently ongoing. However, let's say this individual's contract changed, and beginning in June, they were going to transition to simply full-time. You could add a role for the Fort Worth ER showing that beginning in, say, June 1st, they are going to transition to full-time. This would take them off of the nocturnist role, and you can edit these start and stop dates accordingly. And this will help the schedule template know how they're going to be scheduled when the time comes to build a schedule for any given month. So this is a really cool feature that allows you to control the start and stop times for different roles for different providers at your organization. Thank you for your attention to this video and welcome to Calevo.